I was going to say, how about trying to target the police in the countries and working with them, if there's any way to do that, in the sense of what's been successful in this country is working with the police with hate crime issues, and that's really progressed forward, and that's maybe another area that could be worked on in Africa.
Yeah, I think we can do that, but it depends which country. For example, in Zimbabwe, where I'm from, the police is actually controlled by the government. So you probably have to start from higher up. And in terms of South Africa, it's a very macho, patriarchal society. And, they've got gender inequality and all the police is all men. So I think probably educating women, empowering women into politics and the legal system might be a good start.
Actually, something like that has actually happened in Nigeria. If Jide would testify, we had a plan. There was a time we actually trained journalists. We actually engaged journalists into correctly using the right word and the right phrase to report issues of people of same sex. And I think it could be, like she said, it depends on the country. But I think it will be kind of like easier if there are a way of actually linking up with international organizations to train Nigerian police on actually understanding same-sex activities and stuff like that, and actually help to reduce crime. But again, no matter how much you empower the police, if you do not empower the people on the street, it's a wasted effort.
Yeah, sure, but put your hands up so I can see you well.
I think that the problem here is the evil of patriarchy. I mean, the police system in Nigeria or most parts of Africa is really to do with patriarchy. Unfortunately, we are beginning to try to train lawyers in Nigeria to take on case to defend cases of sexual minorities that come to the courts. And if a lawyer takes up the case of sexual minority, for example, in Bauchi, in the northern part of Nigeria, 18 gay men are going through court at the moment. And the lawyer that's defending them has been victimized, stigmatized. So can you imagine another lawyer taking on that case in the country? Unless we educate the government and educate the Nigerian Bar Association, educate the police, we cannot change anything overnight.
So there's a gentleman with the mic.
Patrick Towell from UK National Commission for UNESCO. In addition to training journalists, how else do you think you can change the way that lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender people are represented in the media?
Do you want to direct that to someone? Or?
To the activists on the end? Well, in fact, no. I think it's important to get an answer from multiple people in terms of how to affect in film, in television, in radio, online as well.
Maybe the filmmakers have something to say, and then we'll come.
I just wanted to ask the activists, BC, sorry, about the law. Surely you've got to change the law first. You can't, it starts with the law, starts with the government, and then trickles down.
No, I think it has to. That is what people have been saying, but it has to come from the grassroots up. If it doesn't come from the grassroots up, if you want to push it from, you're going to force it on the people. Whether the people in Africa are oppressed and repressed, it's not the issue. They have a voice, and if the people says no, let there be a law, it will not work. And I'm from Africa. I lived 32 years of my life in Africa, and I know what I'm talking about.
Can I just say, it is good to change the law, but if you look at South Africa, which they see as the shining star of Africa because they've got the law, behind people of LGBTI, it's really not working. South Africa, you get at least 150 women violated against sexually. So I think we also need, it's good to change the law, but we also need to look at the customary laws because, for example, South Africa, they still got the culture, they still got the, gender inequality. So all those things need to be looked upon, and people also need to claim Africa. Really, they need to claim their history.
So can I just respond as well to the question itself? And I feel that the people that really need education are families, our society, our community leaders, in the rural area and in the urban area. I mean, I have the joy to say that my father, 72-year-old Yoruba man, is the new gay rights activist in Nigeria. And the good news is that it didn't come overnight. It was a struggle. And I think that through education, through spending time with him and talking with him, he began to shift his way of thinking. I mean, the last time that we worked together, I spoke to him this morning anyway, but the last time I saw my father was November last year in South Africa, when both of us went to a conference that was, titled A Dialogue on Homosexuality and Christianity. I was the envy of many other gay and lesbian people there. And I just said to them, you can have my father too.
I think we should probably end on that positive note. There is a presentation next. I'm going to invite Griff from the Campaign from Homosexual Equality to make his way to the stage. And while he's on his way up here, I'd invite everyone to continue this discussion. There are 2 bars and the whole South Bank to enjoy. Go and speak to people who've been here, carry on those discussions, and also join the Facebook groups, carry on the discussion, join the debates, come to the meetings, come to the protests, and see you tomorrow. But don't go, it's not the end. There is going to be a presentation, which